last speech before summer, baby. All right, here we go. We all have a journey in life. That journey may be at times filled with potholes, and at times filled with great blessings that shape who we are. That is what the Meetup Squad is all about. It's about living lives, the journeys on how people get to where they are, and expertise and thoughts of the industry they're in. I hang out with people I find interested and talk. Not yet.
Yeah, it's topic. Sorry.
I hang out with people I find interest in and talk about those topics. My first guest is longtime Edmonton DJ Sean Burke. Sean has been on the radio scene since the 1990s. He moved out from Edmonton to rural areas, rural areas and to work on stations in Slave Lake and Cold Lake. He went back to Edmonton in 1997. In Edmonton, he worked at Kissing Country 103.9 until in 2012 when he moved to 93.101 here in Leduc and went back to Edmonton to work at CFWE. It's a station from Camrose, but the stations are in the West Edmonton Mall. While Sean Burke is a longtime fixture in country radio, he ventured in a station that's not country music. Because in 2018 he moved to sister station 96.3 Capital FM. One of my favorite stations when I came here to Canada in 2018. He stayed at the station even when they switched formats to the Breeze. He stayed there until 2021 when he was laid off, and to me this is saddening because he's the only local voice at the time, and local radio is important. Luckily, he's back in country radio in around 2022. That is CFWE. And it's also because CFWE is not just heard in Edmonton and Leduc on 98.5, but it's heard through transmitters all across northern Alberta. And his show is also heard on sister station CJWE in Calgary, with transmitters all across southern Alberta. Here's the first 10 minutes of how the conversation turned out. Full episode on Periwinkle 2 on YouTube. Thanks.
Well, so what's been real spot? Not much intro. I'm still having trouble speaking slow so far. We're going to get to it. So let's start with a question about life. Are you ready?
I am ready to go, buddy. Thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Well, cheers. First of all, love growing up. Love listening to you on the beat, buddy.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I had a good time here.
Thanks. Okay, so again, questions about life. First, tell me about yourself.
Well, I'll be celebrating my 55th birthday here in just a few weeks, July 16th, if anybody wants to send me a present for me. I was born in Ottawa in 1970. In about 81, 82, everybody was moving west. So we moved west. We packed up in 1978 or 1979 Country Squire wagon and headed west with my mom, my dad, my sister, our cat in the middle, and me. And we drove across the country and moved to Edmonton in about 81 or 82. And finally got started in radio. I think I started in radio in 1992.
Nice. Radio 92. Nice. Okay. Radio 92. Did you want to start from the beginning or just start fresh?
I think something was making there. I think I was making or you were making. We can start from the beginning if you want.
No, that's okay. I think question one all done. I think we don't need your question two, which was tell me your growing up story.
My growing up story.
Oh, okay. Fun.
So, like I said, I moved from Ottawa to Edmonton in 81, 82. We lived in Castle Downs, up in the north end. I'm a north side boy, so I grew up on 164th Avenue, worked at the Dairy Queen in Castle Downs when I was a kid. I started at Little Caesars over by the original Lomaris Mall in like 1986, 85, in and around there. Had a great time growing up in Castle Downs. Moved over to the Warwick side on Warwick Road in 1986. Went to school at Bishop Savin, that was where I did grade 6 for elementary, and then went to St. Cecilia Junior High, and then O'Leary High School in I graduated in 1988, and then went back in 89, so I wasn't really ready to get out there and hit the workforce and grow up and do adult things, so I went back for an extra year of grade 12, and then got into went to radio school shortly thereafter.
Radio school to the thereafter. So you take any extracurricular activities? And that's it.
In high school, junior high, I played basketball briefly, if you can believe that. I was a really short kid, lippy kid, that kid, you know. In grade 6, I played basketball, but then when junior high rolled around, everybody got taller and I stayed short. To just give you an idea, when I graduated high school, I think I was maybe 5'1", and I think about 100 pounds. When I started grade 7, I was 69 pounds. Like, I was just a little guy. I did a lot of running. I kind of beat around. Maybe I want to be a cross-country runner. I do that a little bit, and then I don't want to do that. Now, I do a lot of running. But back then, yeah, as far as extracurricular activities, my summers were spent on my bicycle. You know, it was the 80s, right? So you woke up at 7:30, 8 o'clock, you hopped on your bike, you went over to your buddy's house, and you were gone for the day until, well, the lights came on. You made sure you were home for the lights to come on, because if you weren't that night, you weren't home for dinner, and then Mom was going to be upset. She was going to be standing on the steps, screaming, yelling your name, saying, "Where are you?" And then, yeah, you were going to hear about it.
I love it. So next is, how did you get interested in your motocross hobby?
Motocross, wow. When I was a kid, I loved watching racing. I had one of my heroes was Ricky Johnson was his name, and he was a big-time motocross racer through the 80s. He raced the Hondas, and you know, the red bikes, blue seat. I just thought RJ was fantastic, and it was just crazy expensive. My family couldn't afford it; we didn't have a lot of money. So as I got older, had a decent job, started making a couple of bucks. I bought an acreage out by Trofield in 2003, 4, somewhere around there. And I had a tiny little Honda SD90 dirt bike for me, just to boot around the acreage and boot around some of the older roads and stuff. And I bought another dirt bike. I needed a couple. And I found this old 1974, it's a brand called Hodak, and they run out of Japan. And so I bought this little, it was called a dirt store. Still have it. Completely restored, and it's in my garage room. I still race it, actually. And then it just snowballed. I'm like, what I'll do is I'll buy one, and I'll restore it over the winter, and then I'll sell it, and that'll kind of contribute to my motocross hobby. Well, that never happened. Every single time I buy one to restore, I ended up keeping it. So now I've got, I have very understanding ones, but I absolutely love racing. I started racing with younger old timers in, I think it was 2009, racing the newer bikes. I had a pretty good wreck one day, Devil's Lake, getting up breaking ribs on this side, I had a chest tube here, and my left a few days in the hospital.
It'll let you know, hey, it's a set first 10 minutes, so yeah.
So now I race nothing but vintage bikes. All my bikes now are pre-1979. But I absolutely love it. And it's not even so much the dirt bike racing, it's the camaraderie, you know, just fun to hang out and chat dirt bikes and stuff when we go to the races. The racing obviously a big part of it, but just the social aspect of it is, I love it. I absolutely love it. We raced this past weekend in Stepper. Both my bikes ran terribly. I barely even made it onto the track, but still had a great.
Okay. So you're saying vintage bikes makes you safer than dirt bikes?
I like to think so, but probably not.
Really?
They have terrible suspension. I try not to ride out of my comfort zone. It's the moments when I ride out of my comfort zone that's when you end up getting hurt. Yeah.
Okay. So 4. Who are you now outside of radio?
You know, I'm just a regular guy. When I get home, I try to take that side of life and, put it to the side. And when I get home, I'm a dog owner. I'm surprised they haven't been barking and yelling and screaming and anything and everything that walks by. There's always somebody walking by the house, and I have two schnauzers, and they go a little crazy. And I'm just a dad and a husband. I love my wife. I love spending as much time as I possibly can with Nicole, and my girls, Dave and Jordan, are absolutely fantastic. I'm incredibly proud. So just a family guy, pretty quiet. quiet too, you know. On the weekends, we do a lot of just stuff around the house. We like gardening and yard work and metal detecting. My wife and I are big metal detectors, or more so than me, but we love going metal detecting and looking for old rusty garbage, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I've definitely gotten good at separating, or trying to separate the one side from the other side.
Nice, okay. Nice. So you say you do gardening. What do you garden?
Well, we've got an older house in St. Albert, and the yards are so big.
Pretty
that
sure
we've
they
got
would
a nice little garden
so.
with, I like spice, I love spice, so we've got some hot peppers in there, got some carrots.
I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it takes the first 10 minutes, so 9 minutes 49, probably around where you want to talk about football.
Kind of taken after my dad that way. He was a big bird watcher, photographer and stuff, so I've always got bird seed out there. We feed the squirrels, my neighbors love that. Afternoon, just a few years ago, noticed my neighbor going through his shed, and he had this disgruntled look on his face. I thought, I wonder what he's doing over there. He went and got his shop vac. He came back, and I could hear him vacuuming up all the peanuts that the squirrel that was coming to our yard, grabbing the squirrels and then hiding them in his shed, and he found them all. And there was just a pile of them. But yeah, we just love gardening in the backyard, and you know, do what you can. It's kind of my oasis, our oasis. We hang out in the backyard a lot, play with football and stuff. So I love gardening. Yeah.
So you play football. So are you an Alex fan?
I am not. Born in Ottawa, I'm a Red Blacks fan. We're off to a horrible start. We're 0-2 already. We were playing Calgary on the 21st, but yeah, I'm an Ottawa Red Blacks fan. When I was a kid in Ottawa, I played football briefly, and I was a big Tony Gabriel fan, number 77. Loved Tony Gabriel. He played for the Ottawa Rough Riders back then. They've gone through a bunch of different name changes, but I was a huge Tony Gabriel fan. So yeah, always been an Ottawa fan.
Ottawa fan. Yeah. Even you're not at. Still in Ottawa.